theological status is given to this because it's the only form of immediate knowledge. You know what you know. That much you do know. What you know in your own mind is established. It's there. So you've got that. All right. So you've got subjective and objective knowledge are two different deals. Now this stuff you do need to know. Somebody tell me about Descartes. What's Descartes believe? I know you all read those 2 chapters. Since I'm so nice and I don't quiz you anymore to enforce the reading, I know that you're going to follow up on it and read it anywhere, right?
His view of knowledge is you have to kind of think about the knowledge you have of your own consciousness, or is that someone else?
Yeah, I mean, you're basically giving me where Descartes' going with that.
I mean, for someone to have knowledge, you can have knowledge, like the animals can have knowledge, but we as humans can be aware of ourselves and conscious.
That self-awareness thing, yeah, he really picks up on that aspect of us, that we're self-aware. We're going to talk about Descartes in a minute on his meditations, but the big thing is that we know what we know inside of our minds, but have you ever had a dream that seemed so real? Anybody in here had that experience? I mean, did you woke up going, double checking yourself, like, oh man.
Yeah, I had a dream like 3 or 4 years ago that my dad had bought me a car, and I went out to my garage and it wasn't there, and I called the police and reported it stolen. That's how real my dream was.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty real.
Yeah, it's right.
They thought you were looking in there. You okay? Car. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that Descartes would certainly pick up on. You have had those kind of experiences. Some of you have, where you just had a dream. Well, how do you know that you're not in that state at all times? That you're not really just in a dream state? And you just never have woken up, like Matrix.
Yeah.
You're in dreamland, and you're not waking up, and this is all a big dream, and that mean instructor Robin's guy is just a nightmare, and you know, one day I'll poof, you'll wake up and I'll go away. Okay? But these are the kind of things that the rationalist asks, is how do you, what you do know consciously, you know. Because that would be a contradiction to say that you don't know something and you're conscious. So, at the end of the day, you're aware of at least one thing. What would that be? One, if you deduce everything down, what's the bare minimum that you can come up with that you know for sure?
That today happened.
That today happened. Okay. Or that now is happening. Whatever now is. And maybe now is an illusion, but even if it's an illusion, you're still what?
Alive.
Exactly. You exist. At the very bare essential of everything, there is a part of you that is alive, that exists, that you're conscious. The fact that you have consciousness is testimony to your reality, whatever form that reality is in. Whether you're a figment in someone's imagination, well, you're a self-thinking figment in someone's imagination, aren't you? Okay? So, you're self-aware. You're a conscious being. You know, you're at the very end of the day, you're self-aware. So, that's kind of where Descartes goes with that whole thing. We'll talk more about him. Okay, objective knowledge on the flip side is the relationship between knowledge and objectivity is essentially defined by our perception. Knowledge is objective if something exists independent of the perceiver's perception of it. So, objective knowledge means you know something exists. The camera right there that I'm videotaping myself with, does it exist if I leave this room and I'm not conscious of that piece of equipment being there? Is it still going to be there?
The tree falls in.
Well, not for very long, if somebody would take it, steal it, and run off and sell it. But fortunately, we're in Hot Springs, and I won't say any other towns that I've been in that would be much more quickly removed from this building. But yeah, I make jokes, but right. So That would be like objective knowledge. We're talking about something existing outside of just my perception of it. It's going to be there even if I don't perceive it. That would be objective knowledge. See, now, subjective knowledge means it's me that's perceiving. So the dream that you had, nobody else perceived that but you.
So
that was your thing.
Subjective knowledge is just when you yourself have.
The police thought you were nuts.
Yes.
You know. So it was not an objective knowledge, it was a subjective knowledge. That dream you had is only and can only be known by you. That was subjective. That's a perfect example of subjective knowledge. Objective knowledge is I can know that camera's there and everybody else in this room, because you all have eyesight, you know it's there. Okay? And you haven't, you know, if you didn't know, I was saying you can touch it and feel it, but we all are aware of that. So even if one perceiver leaves, it's something objective that we all can know. You good?
Yes, sir.
You got it back there? All right, rationalism. Okay, this is one of the major epistemological views. Rationalism is the first one we're going to look at. There's really three, but the first two are rationalism and empiricism. Rationalism is a major epistemological view of the study of knowledge. Okay, it's a major camp or position. Epistemology, yeah. One of the major epistemological views. Alright? You need to know that. What the two first are, the two big ones, and then another third comes along. And the book puts Immanuel Kant as a rationalist, so, you know, that's how the book categorizes him. I guess to some degree, yeah. To me, he's his own. He's a separate camp. He's really a combo of the two. Rationalism is the position that reason has precedence over other ways of acquiring knowledge, or that it is the unique path to knowledge, the unique path to true knowledge. Rationalism is the path to true knowledge. Okay?
Will you give us an example?
Yeah. I'm going to give you a great example.
Okay.
Scuba divers. Anybody scuba diving here? All right, I got a couple of you. Except for the classes that I don't have. Did you take actual formal classes? Or you like me? You did it.
I was on a cruise and did it.
You were on a cruise?
Yeah.
Oh, neat. Okay. So you just probably got the brief here. Shove this in your mouth. Get it in the water, and we're not subject to any federal rules here.
Right.
So you get okay. That's what happened. Gotcha. I did it, and you know I'll never tell on the person that took me because you know he wouldn't fill up the tanks and show you how to do it. But you took formal classes in it. How do you avoid getting nitrogen narcosis? You know what I'm talking about? When you're going down and you get disoriented and you get all, you know, if you come up too quick, you can get nitrogen narcosis, right? You can get that condition where you get, you know, messed up. Okay? What's that?
The bends.
The what?
The bends.
The bends?
It's called the bends when you go up and like the oxygen or nitrogen in your blood stays there and it can cause you heart attacks.
Yeah, it can mess you up. Yeah. If you're down underwater, what I was getting at, I may be mixing up some terms. I'm not, you know, I'm not formally trained. I just got a tank and a vest and a mask and thrown in the water, but I figured it out after fumbling around for a while. But you've taken some.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Okay, but when I know that they probably taught you when you